Good morning. Just kidding. Hello, darlings.
Good morning.
Here we are. We are today starting the paper 13. It's beautiful. Listen to this. The sacred spheres. The sacred, what? Sacred. Say sacred.
Sacred.
What? Sacred.
Sacred.
Stab me. What does that feel like? Sacred. Ah, sacred spheres of paradise.
Hmm.
Mm. Makes me go instantly quiet in my whole self. Secret spheres.
Sacred.
Is it sacred or secret? Sacred.
Sacred.
Mm. Spheres.
Sacred and a secret. Interesting. They're very similar words.
It's, it. It's a
Hmm.
secret to some. Those that can't feel, they can only imagine. But those who can feel can experience. Pew. Uh,
Is that your second coffee today, Cole?
This is my first coffee, but my this is my first coffee. But I had when I woke up, I begin to drop within into the spheres, into my personal secret spheres of paradise. And it's just so lovely. It's just out of nowhere, something just pops, and it's just like, oh, where have I been? You know, it's like reconnecting to the self, to the divine self within, the Christ within, the heart within, the feeling, the divine feelings, the great mother within, without which the Christ can't be born, no matter how much you chase him. Yeah. So that was my first coffee. And I'm out of milk, so I made a bulletproof coffee. You guys know bulletproof coffee?
Yeah.
You get a blender and you put quarter of a butter stick in it, and
Oh, crap.
yeah, and you
Right.
spin it, and it turns into this most delicious tasting mixture.
Yeah, I tried it. It's really good. I haven't done it again.
So good. Yes.
How do you make it?
You just put a coffee into a blender and you put, I don't know how much butter you can handle, you know?
Butter. Oh.
Butter, yeah,
Yeah.
butter. Because I had no milk. And you just spin it. I like a bit of honey in mine, so I put honey a little bit before I put it into the blender, and then just give it a spin for 15 seconds, and it comes out like a thick shake almost. Like it's very
Wow.
creamy and very oh, it's just like oh. I wish I could show you, but I can't tilt it. Anyway, darlings, let's get into reading because Kevin has to go. Kim, are you going
I'm
to?
not sure. I'm still feeling a bit crap.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll see how I feel a bit
Okay.
later.
Lovely. So, paper 13. Who would like to begin to read today?
I'll go then.
Thank
The Sacred Spheres of Paradise.
you. Yes.
Between the central Isle of Paradise and the innermost of the Havana planetary circuits, there are situated in space three lesser circuits of special spheres. The innermost circuit consists of the 7 secret spheres of the Universal Father. The second group is composed of the 7 luminous worlds of the Eternal Sun. In the outermost are the 7 immense spheres of the Infinite Spirit, the executive headquarters worlds of the 7 Master Spirits. These 3 7-world circuits of the Father, the Son, and the Spirit are spheres of unexcelled grandeur and unimagined glory. Even their material or physical construction is of an order unrevealed to you.
Mm.
Each circuit is diverse in material, and each world of each circuit is different, excepting the 7 worlds of the Sun, which are alike in physical constitution. All 21 are enormous spheres, and each group of 7 is differently eternalized. As far as we know, they have always been. Like paradise, they are eternal. There exists neither record nor tradition of their origin. The 7 secret spheres of the Universal Father, circulating about paradise in close proximity to the eternal isle, are highly reflective of the spiritual luminosity of the central shining of the eternal deities, shedding this light of divine glory throughout paradise and even upon the 7 circuits of Havana. On the 7 sacred worlds of the Eternal Sun, there appear to take origin the impersonal energies of spirit luminosity.
Mm.
No personal being may sojourn on any of these 7 shining realms. With spiritual glory, they illuminate all paradise and Havana, and they directionize pure spirit luminosity to the 7 super universes. These brilliant spheres of the second circuit likewise emit their light without heat, to paradise and to the billion worlds of the 7-circuited central universe. Okay. The 7 worlds of the infinite spirit are occupied by the 7 master spirits who preside over the destinies of the 7 super universes, sending forth the spiritual illumination of the 3rd person of deity to these creations of time and space. And all Havana, but not the Isle of Paradise, is bathed in these spiritualizing influences. Although the worlds of the Father are ultimate status spheres for all Father-endowed personalities, this is not their exclusive function. many beings and entities other than personal sojourn on these worlds, other than personal sojourn on these worlds. Each world in the circuit of the Father and the circuit of the Spirit has a distinct type of permanent citizenship. But we think the Son's worlds are inhabited by uniform types of other than personal beings. Father fragments are among the natives of Divinington. So, yeah. The other orders of permanent citizenship are unrevealed to you. The 21 Paradise satellites serve many purposes in both central and super universes, not disclosed in these narratives.
Mm.
You are able to understand so little of the life of these spheres that you cannot hope to gain anything like a consistent view of them, either as to nature or function. Thousands of activities are there going on which are unrevealed to you. These 21 spheres embrace the potentials of the function of the master universe. These papers afford only a fleeting glimpse of certain circumscribed activities pertaining to the present universe age of the grand universe. Rather, one of the 7 sectors of the grand universe.
Wow. Beautiful. Thanks, Kim.
Pleasure.
The first thought that comes in goes, Father, help me to understand all this. Help me to understand this without me placing and projecting onto it my past learnings. And begin to see this as it is now. I think later on in this paper, they're going to talk about these receptive centers. I think they call it sensations. They're like visions. When a vision opens up, you begin to see things you could not see before. And these are the sensations that every different sensation kind of gives you an ability to open different eye within yourself, with which you can see just far beyond these physical eyes. That's what they call, in the cosmos, they call that vision. Yeah. Beautiful.
I can read if you like.
think so.
Yeah, fine.
Let's go real slow. Do you remember last week when we talked about this? What
Mm.
I called the Oratio Divina. What was the word? To let the words sink in. Actually, that's the
Was
beginning.
it Lectus Divina or something?
Yeah, Lectio Divina,
Lectio.
which means you take a section and rather than placing and projecting onto it what you think, you step back and you let that to be revealed to you.
Mm.
So there is contemplation. There is this quiet time. Sometimes we fall into this quietness. It's just integrating something we cannot easily comprehend, but on some deeper level, it's working on us. Same as with the Course of Love, you just read it, and he says, don't worry about understanding what's in here. Just keep reading it. This will take you places. This will dislodge structures you didn't know you were even holding. And as they fall apart, we begin to see clearer. We begin to comprehend things differently. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And if something makes no sense, accept it makes no sense and move on. And at some point, it will be explained further and further and further. And we're just at the beginning,
Mm.
really.
One. Excuse me. One, the seven sacred worlds of the Father. The Father's circuit of sacred life spheres contains the only inherent personality secrets in the universe of universes. These satellites of paradise, the innermost of the three circuits, are the only forbidden domains concerned with personality in the central universe. Nether paradise and the worlds of the sun are likewise closed to personalities, but neither of those realms is in any way directly concerned with personality. The paradise worlds of the Father are directed by the highest order of the stationary sons of the Trinity, the trinitized secrets of supremacy. Of these worlds I can tell little. Of their manifold activities I may tell less. Such information concerns only those beings who function thereon and go forth therefrom. And though I am somewhat familiar with 6 of these special worlds, never have I landed on Divinington. That world is wholly forbidden to me.
Amazed. That's amazing, huh?
Forbidden planet.
Forbidden. That's what makes it like, ooh,
Yeah.
what is it? Forbidden fruit,
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I wish they were all forbidden, then we wouldn't have to talk about them. Actually, so I'm feeling is like, it's too much information.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it that these guys, that's so exciting that this is like a never ending awakening, never ending. It just keeps going and going.
Mm.
Like, that's the beauty of it. When I started having the first awakening, I thought like, whoa, I'm awake. Whoa, whoa. And then the
Oh,
next,
yeah, right.
I thought, oh my God, I was only awake like in a tiny little part of me.
Mm.
And then something else awakened that I had no idea existed within. And I thought, whoa, now, now I have something. And then boom, something else. So it is the awakening. Once you awake, it just keeps going. Like it's if every day is not an amazing adventure in some way of awakening something. Like this morning, I just went, what's in there? What's really in there? And then boom, it was almost like a semi-dream in a way, but it was very feeling. It's very feeling dreaming of being revealed, of spheres within, sacred spheres within.
Mm.
It's interesting you read it as secret to start with, and then the word secret is coming up.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, what did they used to say in the forum? The part, like the stuff we know, the stuff we don't know. Biggest part is the stuff we don't know that we don't. Yeah. Sounds like quite.
Well, you think what love is because you love someone, you know how to love, right? And then something opens up and it shows you love like you never even dreamed was love.
Yeah.
I thought
What
I
did
knew what love was, but it was like I was just having emotions of some kind.
Mm.
This was this wasn't emotions. That and it's funny thing, like they are in a way sacred spheres because in some way they can't be named. Like when I fall, I was just speaking from a personal experience because you know what I read is one thing, but what I experienced when this deep realm opens up, what I call the mother realm within, the words completely lose meaning. Like anything I think, I have a thought passing by, and it's almost like a distortion. Like even that realm just goes like, if you want to get engaged in those thoughts, I don't have a place for you here. Like the words feel like they seriously meaningless, just like the Course of Miracle says. You know, these thoughts do not really mean anything. They only just, you know. So not knowing is not a bad thing.
Mm. If you don't know, then you open, if you want to know, you open yourself to discovering.
Bingo. Like I just said, like the prayer is, God, show me how to understand all this
Mm.
beyond my expectation.
Mm.
And if you don't know, think that you know, then you're really buggered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I see that as the big problem with our education system, actually, because people come out with degrees and stuff, and they think they know something, but it's not actually valuable. Well, it might be in some ways, but
Well, if they're suited like to what they're doing, but you
yeah.
know, often they're not. They're not even interested. They're just doing it, I don't know, because it pays well or something. Yeah.
Mm. Anyway, I'll carry on. One of the reasons for the secrecy of these worlds is because each of these sacred spheres enjoys a specialized representation or manifestation of the deities composing the Paradise Trinity.
Mm,
Not a personality, but a unique presence of divinity, which can only be appreciated and comprehended by those particular groups of intelligences resident on or admissible to
mm,
that particular sphere.
Hmm.
The trinitized secrets of supremacy are the personal agents of these specialized and impersonal presences of divinity.
mm.
The secrets of supremacy are highly personal beings, superbly endowed and marvelously adapted to their exalted and exacting work.
Mm.
Marvelously adapted.
I have no idea.
I love it.
Hmm. I just have to look at it and say there's so much I don't know. That's cool.
Exciting.
Like you said, Kim. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
even know about exciting. I'm just tired at the moment. I'm glad I'm reading though, because it's opening me up to it. Because I was feeling very irritated by
Mm.
what was being read before.
Mm.
I
Oh,
was thinking about, I had a quick look at this yesterday, and I was thinking about all their names for the places. Anyway, it's just a little side trip, but I was wondering how they would be translated for different languages because they're clearly mostly taken from English.
Hmm.
mm.
So do they then get translated into the language that
But
they're,
like I say, they said they had to adapt everything to the English language, but they also had to create words because we don't have these words.
yeah,
There are
yeah,
many, there's a whole dictionary of words that kind of at least points to what it could be. And even
yes,
that, I think it's limited to, the perception of the human mind is just this tiny little speck of who we truly are.
yes,
And we're so caught, generally, so caught in this tiny little area. I mean, do you guys live anywhere else except here most of the time?
Mhm.
I sort of see that, like higher education
Hmm.
is almost like putting prison walls around perception. Because I've been reading about Leonardo, like I've got a book of quotations from him. He didn't have access to Leonardo da Vinci. He didn't have access to the higher knowledge that, the educated people had, which was all in Greek and Latin.
Hmm.
He only had access to what was written in Italian, which was really for the plebs, for the, lower people. So he did his own discovery. But if he'd had access to those other writings, we wouldn't have had the genius that we had in him. I mean, he had multiple levels of genius.
Mm.
Yes.
Anyway, that's just an aside, really.
And
One.
also coming back to something that I always want to say here, which is really important, I think. In Teacher's Manual in the Course in Miracles, it says, what is the peace of God? Often people say, "Oh, like I'm in the peace, I'm in the peace of God," right? And then when you actually read it, it says something very interesting. It says there are three questions, and one of them is how can the peace of God be recognized?
Mhm.
And then watch this. So it actually tells you how it can be recognized. It says God's peace is recognized at first by just one thing. One thing. Watch this. In every way, it is totally unlike all previous experiences.
Oh, okay.
Boom. Yes.
So in that area, if we don't know, you don't know. It's just
It's just this
It's going to be
revelation
different
that
every time.
it is a
yeah.
rupture, like you virtually
Yeah,
crack into different domains of your being. Yeah.
yeah.
And you're discovering yourself. You're actually not discovering God, God, God. You're discovering that part of you that is the fragment of God. Yeah. Many have many images what that is, but when it reveals itself to you, you're
Mm.
stunned because it doesn't compare to anything, even doesn't compare to anything any books ever had to say about anything, any of this, right? So it calls to mind nothing that went before.
Mm.
Yeah, your whole system of what you knew up till now, it's dislodged,
Yeah.
completely put aside, and this brand new creation, because it's creation, God is creation, this brand new thing is suddenly there, and you just go, I mean, what can you say? It was just like, fuck,
Well,
what's this?
like it's described in scripture as the peace of God which passeth all human understanding, and it's
Understandings.
true.
You suddenly see, but you don't see like with these eyes at all. It's why we
Yeah.
often close our eyes. We go like, we drop deep and go like, oh, and you begin to actually see something else. It brings with it no past association. So it's a brand new revelation. It's just it reveals something that was not there before. If you sit in some kind of meditation that's familiar and going to this kind of like a blissed thing that you remember, that's not peace of God. That's just a reverie. But this is different. This is ignites something within. It is a new thing entirely. He says that there is a contrast, yes, between this thing and all the past. But strangely, it is not a contrast of true differences. Watch this. The past just slips away, and in its place is everlasting quiet. Only that. Quiet has reached to cover everything. Anyway, I always wanted to read this here, so here I've done it. And I think this does that. This just does it slightly differently. It gives you this crazy unknown. It gives you this unknown information, like, and it dislodges all your old structures that way. Because you go like, oh, I don't think I was right about all of this. Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
let's go.
Should I carry on?
Please do.
Yeah, yes.
1. Divinington.
Now.
This world is, in a unique sense, the bosom of the Father, the personal communion sphere of the universal Father, the personal communion sphere of the universal Father. And thereon is a special manifestation of his divinity.
Mm,
Divinington is the paradise rendezvous of the thought adjusters,
wow.
but it is also the home of numerous other entities, personalities, and other beings taking origin in the universal Father. Many personalities besides the eternal Son are of direct
Oh
origin.
God. Go.
Oh, God.
Don't move from that.
Uh, oh,
Mm, beautiful. Mm, Oh, that's exquisite. Oh, mm, beautiful. Mm.
Many personalities besides the eternal Son are of direct origin by the solitary acts of the Universal Father. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Mm.
Only the Father fragments and those personalities and other beings of direct and exclusive origin in the Universal Father fraternize and function on this abode. The secrets of Divinington include the secret of the bestowal and mission of thought adjusters. Their nature, origin, and the technique of their contact with the lowly creatures of the evolutionary worlds is a secret of this paradise sphere.
Oh,
These amazing transactions do not personally concern the rest of us, and therefore do the deities deem it proper to withhold certain features of this great and divine ministry from our full understanding. Insofar as we come in contact with this phase of divine activity, we are permitted full knowledge of these transactions. But concerning the intimate details of this great bestowal, we are not fully informed. This sphere also holds the secrets of the nature, purpose, and activities of all other forms of father fragments, of the gravity messengers, and of hosts of other beings unrevealed to you. It is highly probable that those truths pertaining to Divinington, which are withheld from me, if revealed, would merely confuse and handicap me in my present work. And still again, perhaps they are beyond the conceptual capacity of my order of being.
Conceptual capacity. When we experience unspeakable love, what kind of concept would you have? If it's
Not in an experience of concept.
Yeah. That's why schools of feelings is very important schools to attend. Schools of thought, I think we are already overthunk, if there's such a word. Overthought, too much thinking, not enough experience and feeling. Agreed?
Yeah.
Seems that way.
Yeah.
Someone else can read now.
Sonarrington. So here comes another name. This sphere.
Oh, that's right.
This sphere is the bosom of the Son. So the first one was the bosom of the Father, right? This one is bosom of the Son, the personal receiving world of the
eternal Son.
There we go. It's in the name, isn't it? Sonarrington.
Oh God. It is the That's cool, isn't it? Say hello, Alice. Ah. It is the paradise headquarters of the descending and ascending sons of God when and after they are fully accredited and finally approved. This world is the paradise home of all sons of the eternal Son. Wow, all sons of the eternal Son. How is that, Alison? All sons of the eternal Son.
Hey.
Yeah. And of his coordinate and associated sons. There are numerous orders of divine sonship attached to this supernal abode, which has not been revealed to mortals, since they are not concerned with the plans of the ascension scheme of human spiritual progression through the universes and on to the paradise. Suck on that. The secrets of Sonarrington include the secret of the incarnation of the divine sons. It includes the secret of the incarnation of the divine
Sons.
sons. When a son of God becomes a son of man, it literally is literally born of woman, as occurred on your world 1900 years ago. This was written. This was written about what, about 80 years ago or so,
Yeah.
something like that. It is a universal mystery. It is occurring right along throughout the universes, and it is a Sonarrington secret of divine sonship. The adjusters are a mystery of God the Father. So imagine you got one of those adjusters right there with you. It right lives in you as you, and it actually through feelings gives you inspiration to another way of thinking. So it adjusts thoughts, not with thoughts, but with an experience of unspeakable newness, because it can't be defined. And in that dislodges your thinking into another way of using the mind, which is much, much more lucid and fluid and more like flowing than sequential and time bound. And even what
Do
I'm
they only, I mean, I suppose they're a mystery, so we don't really know how it all works, but that's part of it.
yes. Well, it will be when it begins to experientially reveal in you, then you start having a little bit more sense of it. I mean, for me,
Mm.
this is how the whole URANTIA started. Suddenly, I would have experiences rather than tons of ideas in my head.
Yeah, yeah.
When we said when you say eternal sun, something moves in you, right?
You could say that.
And
I
makes you
mean, I'm
and
I'm
makes you
thinking of
and makes you incredibly happy, right? Like the joy that comes through that. Yeah, you can't deny it. I mean,
yeah.
you
Oh,
can.
I'm perfectly capable of denying.
Yes,
I just don't know why I'd want to anymore.
that's it.
But I mean, I have had, the experience of having an image kind of just come into my mind
Hmm.
that's entirely appropriate to illustrate a concept or something that I need to see differently.
Yes, it's very true.
Hey guys, I'll see you after or later or sometime.
Ready. All
All
right.
right, Kevin.
Don't turn us off, yeah?
Oh, no, yeah, I'll be careful. Leave meeting, that's it.
I
Okay. See you later.
may or
See
may
you,
not
Kevin.
see you.
You have.
What'd you say, Kim?
I may or may not see you. I haven't decided.
Okay. See ya.
Okay, see you.
Hey, we survived. Beautiful, huh? Where did I finish, guys?
Um,
The adjusters are a mystery of God the Father.
Mm-hmm.
that's right.
The
In the
just
middle of
mystery of God the Father, the incarnation of the divine sons is a mystery of God the Son. It is a sacred,
a
Secrets.
secret.
a secret locked up in the seventh sector of Sonarrington, the realm penetrated by none save those who have personally passed through this unique experience. Only those, only those phases of incarnation having to do with your ascension career. I love that word, ascension career
Uh-huh.
have been brought to your notice. There are many other phases of the mystery of the incarnation of the paradise sons of unrevealed types on missions of universe service, which are undisclosed to you. And there are still other Sonarrington mysteries.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then we go to the Spiritington. Hey, crazy names, huh? They sound very English to me. Like,
Yeah. They're just having to give us names that we'll be able to remember where they are and what they're for, I guess.
one
yeah,
derives from the word
they
spirit,
relate,
Spiritington.
What was that, Kim?
yeah, they relate to what they're about. So
Yeah.
the Son one,
Mhm.
bosom of the Father is the divinity. You know, it's good. It relates to. It's clear.
It's very
Yeah. Clear
You
as
know,
mud.
in the description, I'm not clear about what it all means.
what it means. Yes, exactly. Hey.
You know,
Well, let's see how many of them are there. Five,
there's
There'll be
seven.
7.
seven. Well,
I
that
find it interesting the 7 keeps on coming up. We have 7 chakras as
exactly.
well.
Well,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. Like, you
you
know, we
might
have
have.
so many ideas what chakras are, but when your chakras begins to talk to you, all this bullshit that you've learned from these traditions basically vanishes. Like I say, anything of the past doesn't fit into a revelation because it's something is revealed to you that can't be registered. And it also cannot be grasped. The minute you grasp it, it becomes a prison, right? Make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Spiritington. Now, this world is the bosom. How do you say it? Bosom?
Bosom.
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 Bosom of the spirit. The paradise home of the high beings that exclusively represent the infinite spirit. Here, I was watching this really cool guy talk, and he said, and he used this old sort of thing like we are tuned to one station and we rarely change to another, right?
Mm.
And he says we have all these different dials, but if we don't dial with them, we stay on one station, and in that one station we have this amount of information that's from that station. But truly, he actually said everything that ever was and will be is here now already. We're just not tuning into it. So as we begin to release this tiny little scope where we live into another station,
Does that relate to the Akashic records, Cole?
I don't really know that much about the Akashic records.
Neither do I. So.
I think I think we have access to everything because it is all one in a way. There is
Mm.
delineations and stuff, but ultimately, I feel in my experience it is all one. So that's why I really love this book because it ignites something within me. It dislodges this prison of sentences that I placed upon myself and think that I am this and this and this and that. Suddenly that begins to fall apart. Just like the Course of Miracles, this undoes you despite you.
Well, you can hold on to as many old ideas as you want to. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
you can. Or you can just let them all go.
Without even realizing, of course.
Well,
yeah.
that's why this is why I love the Byron Katie's work. Is that always that question? Well, is that true? Right? I mean, I even can say like none of what I'm saying is true at all.
All
I don't
right.
need it to be
Enough of
true.
you spouting your bullshit, Cole.
Yeah, let's just read.
Oh, thanks, guys. That's very nice.
It's all right. No, I like hearing you talk, but let's get on to reading, eh?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, don't. It's all right.
Sincere apologies. This book inspires sort of like,
It's lovely. It is lovely.
And no apology needed. Like,
No.
and yeah, but I did
I
want to
find
say
that
that because we talked about Byron Katie the other day, and I really think that fun question, like, is that true?
yeah.
Yeah. I was just making a joke when I said enough of your bullshit, Cole. I was making a joke about you saying about it not being true. If that's all. I wasn't actually, yeah.
No, I hear you, darling.
Yeah.
But
I can get a bit unleashed.
it is interesting that people that examine their thoughts find out that they're totally not true.
Yes.
That they
Yeah.
just assume that that's how it is, and
Yes.
they're miserable. They're so unhappy because they're believing all these lies and they don't even know that they're lies.
Yeah, they see something that is not there.
Yeah, and it's in their imagination or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, and that's how everyone lives. That's what we all do, isn't it?
Oh, a number of things I've been told that I've just believed because someone said it was true.
Yeah, that's right.
I really started to question it a few years ago. Oh,
But
Well,
the
really?
but,
yes.
yeah, yeah, because they're so hidden.
Do you remember the first time someone said to you the word God?
No.
Not really.
So we can find that place because it's very interesting. So you're this little being and someone says God and you go, what's that? Oh,
Probably in
it's an invisible
Sunday
thing.
school.
And as a child, you make this image from that of this invisible thing that's
Mm.
somewhere far away. And that little imprint can stay with you your whole life in a
But,
hidden kind of corner of your mind, still thinking that that is so.
but we do it with everything, everything, every single thing. It's just nuts.
It's nuts. Beautiful. All right, let's move on then. So
Where are we up to?
let's start with the spiriting tone again, yeah?
Okay.
I promise I'm not gonna get lost in my rumble. This world is the bosom, bosom of the spirit, the paradise home of the high beings that exclusively represent the infinite spirit. Here foregather the seven master spirits and contain of
And certain.
and a certain of their offspring from all universes. At this celestial abode may also be found numerous unrevealed orders of spirit personalities. See, I love that, huh? Beings assigned to the manifold activities of universe, not associated with the plans of upstepping the mortal creatures of time to the paradise levels of eternity. Ah. Now I'm having an experience, Alison.
Ah,
I'm going to go after the end of this one, the
okay.
end of this number. Yeah.
Yeah, are you gonna go, Kim?
I might go, yeah. See, I haven't ventured out of the house in a few days.
Are you feeling better, honey?
I feel all right. I can see that my mind wants to tell me that I'm sick and I should stay in bed. And I've been resting, definitely been resting a lot. But I'm looking at oh, what is it? Anyway, I don't know. I think I'm just going to make myself go out. Be good for me. Yeah, yeah. Even if it's just for a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah. Nice.
yeah.
The secrets of Spiritington involve the impenetrable mysteries of reflectivity.
That's a good one, isn't it?
I love it.
Impenetrable mysteries of reflectivity.
Yes.
Oh,
Can do Lectio Divina on that sentence. We tell you of the vast and universal phenomenon of reflectivity, more particularly as it is operative on the headquarters worlds of the seven superuniverses. But we never fully explain this phenomenon, for we do not fully understand it. Much, very much, we do comprehend. That's interesting, huh? Much, very much, we do comprehend. But many basic details are still mysterious to us. Reflectivity is the secret,
a secret.
a secret of God the Spirit. You have been instructed concerning reflectivity functions in relations to the ascension scheme of mortal survival. And it does so operate, and it does so operate. But reflectivity is also an indispensable feature of the normal working of numerous other phases of universe occupation. This endowment of the infinite spirit is also utilized in channels other than those of intelligence gathering and information dissemination. And there are other secrets of Spiritington. On that note,
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, I've had enough, I think. Ah,
Vice Jerrington. What?
yeah.
Vice Jerrington. Vice. What?
And then there's one called Solitaireton and
Jerrington.
Seraphington and Ascendington. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm going to go now. So thanks, guys.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
It's
and
lovely. Thank
It's
you.
lovely to see you. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
see you Saturday.
Bye.
Oh, I might not be coming Saturday.
Oh no?
Um, I'll be staying over at my daughter's Friday night. And I
Okay.
don't know if that will work out.
See how
So if
it
you
goes.
don't, yeah, I'll try. I'll see how it goes. Yeah,
If we don't see you in 5 minutes, we'll
yeah. Yeah, don't wait for me. Definitely not.
Yeah, wait up. Right.
it's not the same without you, darling.
Oh,
No, it's not.
it's not the same with when anyone's missing, is it?
We'll muddle through, though. We'll make it
Yeah,
somehow. But it is always better to have everyone.
it is, isn't
We'll
it?
use the
Yeah,
words of Jesus and we'll see where they take us.
yeah. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, Kim.
Bye.
I'll stop the recording now.